everybody, welcome back, and it's time for day 28's tutorial. Like I said, I know I didn't hit the 31 tutorials in 31 days, but you're still getting 31 days of tutorials. And like I said in my last tutorial, there are so many appropriate times of year to wear full-on glam makeup. As Kim so helpfully pointed out, Arbor Day. Yeah, I'm doing an Arbor Day tutorial. But this is one of those looks that I just had in my mind from the minute I started thinking about the series, and I wanted to create this very extreme halo smoky eye with this palette in particular, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, the Self-Made palette. I love this palette. This started my love affair with her shadows. I think it is one of the most uniquely beautiful, colorful palettes out there, and I know it's limited edition, and I am so sorry if you did not get your hands on it, because it's just got the most interesting array of shades, and it's shades that are unique that you don't see in every single palette that you pick up, and I love it. I mean, this blush shade is amazing. Self-Made, Sherbert, I love. Isla, I mean, Deep Purple and Champagne, which are kind of the stars of the show today. And I'm telling you, there's a reason why these shadows are so hyped up, and it's because, I mean, it's so hard to do purple, and she just gets it right. It's so vibrant, it's so beautiful, it's almost like neon. It's got a slight iridescence to it. It's gorgeous, one of my all-time favorite shades. And then everybody goes nuts over Pink Champagne, and that's because it's absolutely stunning. So I really wanted to feature both of those today in this look. But yeah, guys, I know this palette can be very intimidating because it's one of those palettes that when you look at it, there's so many interesting colors in there. You don't really see a coherent look right off the bat. So I know that can be intimidating for some people, but if you have this palette, it's time to bust it out. Let's play around with it, and I will show you how I got this very beautiful, I really love this look, beautiful pink and purple smoky eye. And again, this is going to be a look that just makes those eyes open with that kind of lower lash halo that we've got going on. So yeah, I'm really excited to share this look with you. I hope you're excited to see it, and I will see you after the tutorial. Alright guys, so I've already primed my eyes. I just used my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter to carve out my brow, and then I blended it down into my Urban Decay Primer Potion, just the original. So now what I'm going to do, since I already have my foundation on, and I just want to keep the, I felt like in the my original tutorial, like the color came down too low and it was giving me like crazy raccoon eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a flat angled brush. This is a Beige Cosmetics 127 brush, and I'm going to dip it into some translucent powder. This is just from e.l.f. This is their HD powder. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of angle it right, hi Sierra, right there. So that way it's gonna not go down any further than that. I'm just kind of matching it up from the tip of my brow to the corner of my eye. And I'm just gonna place that there because that's gonna help us to keep the powder from, or the eyeshadow from drifting down too far. So first off, what I'm gonna do is set that primer, and I'm just gonna take a Wet n Wild large eyeshadow brush, and we're gonna take the shade Buttery right there. And I just threw the brush from the palette, and we are just going to place that. I'm not going to take it down on the lid, but I want to place it all the way down towards the crease. Now I'm just going to pick up a fluffy Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush, and we're going to go into the shade Sherbert, and we're going to start laying down our transition shade. This is going to add a nice warmth to it that I think really, really shows off the purple. We're just going to blend that up and kind of focus it on the outer corner, because this is going to be one of those halo eyes. It's got a little bit of a cat shape. It's definitely more rounded, but it's going to have a little bit more of a roundness to it, but we do want to focus just a little bit of that color on the outer corner. And now taking that same color, I'm going to pick up a little bit of the shade Blossom, which is a really, really beautiful dusty rose. Yes, it's a shimmer. I don't care. I'm using it in my transition anyway. And you know what? It worked just fine. That's what I have to say about the rules, guys. Again, just with the, I'm just going to mix it right in with that Sherbert shade and concentrate it on the outer corner just a little bit. I'm going to pick up that large eyeshadow brush again from Wet n Wild. I'm not putting any more product on it. I'm just kind of blending everything out. Now what I'm going to do is take a purple eyeshadow pencil. You can take, or eyeliner, you can take any one that you want, but I'm using this really, really bright purple from Urban Decay. This is in the shade Vice. And what I'm going to do is just kind of smudge it on the inner and outer corner of my upper lid. So I'm going to create those kind of little triangle shapes. I'm leaving a pretty wide gap in the middle because I really, really want to feature that champagne or pink champagne shade. And if you get it just up in the crease, that's fine. I wouldn't take it too far above. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just follow it right along the lower lash line as well. And I'm going to leave that blank in the middle. Now I'm just going to pick up a flat shader brush. This one is from Mash, and we're going to go into that deep purple shade, which is absolutely beautiful. And we're just going to start patting this right over the Vice eyeliner or whatever purple eyeliner you have. Really packing on that color because I want the purple to really, really stand out. All right, guys, the purple got a little too high. I want to keep it really just down on my lid. It got too far into my crease on the inner corner, so I'm just taking a Q-tip and wiping that shadow away. And now I'm just going to take a Sephora shader brush, and I'm going to pick up more of that deep purple shade, and we're going to smudge this along the outer and inner part of the lower lash line, and I'm going to bring that up to meet that color in the outer corner. I'm going to bring this down pretty significantly. All right, guys, I'm going to take another flat eyeshadow brush. It's kind of a mess right now, but that's okay. We're going to work with it. And I'm going to pick up the pink champagne shade, which is really, everybody raves about this shade, guys. There's a reason it is that stunning. And I'm just going to wet it down with my Milani Make It Last setting spray. And then I'm just going to start painting this right on the center of the eye. Then I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that pink champagne shade. I'm not going to wet it down. I'm just going to press that dry shadow on top. Now I'm going to go back in with that Sephora brush, and we're going to start blending it together. Do the pat and wiggle, guys. If you feel like the purple got over too far, just go back in with that pink champagne shade and widen it up. It's really about preference. I'm just going to try and make sure both my eyes are matching. They look pretty good right now. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to tight line and line my lower lash line, but I am going to keep that center part open. I'm not going to put black there. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back because we all know I can't do that on camera. All right, guys, and I forgot to tell you, this is just my Milani Liquid Like eyeliner pencil. And once that is on, I'm going to go in with a pencil from the same line. Where is it? And that is in the shade Silver. And we're just going to line the middle of the bottom lash line. That. And we are going to put this right underneath our eye and the lower lash line as well. Now I'm taking a BRC S01 brush, and we're going to go back into that pink champagne shade. And again, I'm going to wet the brush down with my Make It Last setting spray. And we're just going to mimic what we did on the upper lash line with that smaller detailed brush. I'm going to be pretty liberal with this because I really want that pink champagne to stand out. And if you need to, go back in with that Sephora small shadow brush and just kind of like we did on the upper lid, just blend it out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a BRC S08 brush, and we're going to go back into that deep purple just on the very tip of the brush. I'm going to tap it off, and what I'm going to do is lightly kind of blend this out and blow this out towards the outer corner. And then I'm going to softly, very, very softly carry it over. So we just get a little hint of purple in the crease. Now I'm going to pick up a BR250 Pro Blend Fluff Brush, and we're going to go back into that sherbet shade. We're going to really start blending that purple out and creating a more elevated shape. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back into that Blossom shade with that same brush. And again, just blend it out. I'm going to go back in with that fluffy brush one more time and just soften everything up. And then I'm going to take that Wet n Wild shadow brush again with no more of, I'm not going to put any more of that buttery shade on it. I'm just kind of blending everything out. And now I'm going to pick up a BRC S09, and we're going to go into this shade right here called Treasure. So it's got a really nice tip on it. I'm really liking this for the inner corner. So what we're doing is just placing this right here in the inner corner just to brighten it up a little bit. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of that shade, and we're going to blend it in under the brows. And just to soften it up, I'm going to go back in with that Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush and just blend it out just to make it not quite so intense. For mascara today, I'm using the new Wet n Wild Lash Renegade Mascara. I just got this, and so far I'm liking it. It's not the greatest mascara I've ever used. The brush is really, really interesting. So it's a rubber brush, and it's got the spikies, the ball at the end, so it's really good for getting in the inner corners and outer corners and along the lower lash line, so I do like that. It gives relatively nice volume and length, so I'm gonna slap that on. Okay, I want to bring it up just a little bit, so I'm going to take my BRC S06 and I'm going to pick up a little bit of the buttery shade, and then we're just going to run that right underneath the lash line just to tone it down just a little bit. Alright guys, I'm going to pop on my lashes today. I'm using my BR 523s, which are just a nice, really kind of dramatic demi-wispy. I'm going to pop those on and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm zoomed out. I've already done my foundation, so I'm going to go in with a new product. This is exclusive to Walgreens. This is called the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Contour. This is the only shade that I saw, and it's in the shade Café Au Slay. I've got to say already, I'm not a big fan of the packaging because it's just feels extremely cheap, which is, I feel like, kind of below Wet n Wild at this point. But I'm just going to take my e.l.f. small stipple brush, and we're going to see how this works. It's a little warm. It did blend out really nicely. So we'll have to put this one to the test. I don't know how I feel about this. You know, is it too orange? It might be too orange. But I like the way it applies with the stipple brush. It's actually not bad. I went a little too crazy up here, so I'm just gonna blend that out just a little bit. Alright guys, I'm always gonna set any kind of cream contour or liquid contour with a powder, so I'm not gonna do a contour, but I'm gonna go in with my Physicians Formula Super BB Insta-Ready bronzer, and I'm just gonna take this on a blush brush from Real Techniques. Just kind of reiterated, this is such a beautiful bronzer. It's, especially if you're fair skinned, it's not going to be really in your face. It just adds more of a subtle color and life to your skin and adds a really beautiful kind of airbrushed finish. Guys, if things are looking a little funky today, it's because I'm using a bunch of new products on my face, so bear with me. For blush today, I'm gonna go in with my Kiss New York, or Kiss Professional New York This Moment blush, and this is in the shade Warm Winter. It is an absolutely beautiful shade, extremely pigmented blush. I'm gonna go in with that same brush. And a little goes a very, very long way. I just tapped my brush in. I just kind of went boop and tapped it off, and that's how much product you get. So just, if you have these, just be careful. Alright guys, I'm going to go with my Ambient Lighting Powder palette and just my big fluffy brush, and we're just going to buff everything together. Actually, I like that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. It always comes off differently on camera. Alright, for lips today, I'm going to start off with this new product from Wet n Wild. This is called their Gel Lip Liner in Gone Burgundy. It's really, really pretty. Like, really pretty, really creamy. So we're going to start off with this. Alright, I'm going to take a chance. I love that liner, by the way. It's such a great formula. So I kind of filled in the inner corners and a little kind of contoured my lips a little bit. I'm going to go in with one of the new Maybelline IntaMattes in IntaMatte Nudes in Beige Babe. We're going to see how this works. Okay, this lip is really pretty, but I'm not digging it, so we're going to try something else. Alright guys, what I think I'm going to go for instead is my Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in Rebel Rose. I just know I love this one, so we're going to go with it. Alright guys, and because I can't leave it alone, I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Buxom lip gloss in White Russian. And I totally forgot to put highlighter on. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have not used this one in a while. This is the Too Reflect Shimmer palette in Rose Champagne Glow. It's beautiful, and we're using it today. Guys, I've been all over the place in this tutorial. I do not know what the deal is. Alright everybody, and that's the finished tutorial. Alright guys, so that's the finished look using the Anastasia Self-Made palette. And again, I love this type of look because it's one of those looks that you can use with any color combination that you want, as long as it's a darker shade with a lighter shade. You know, you could use the deep purple with Isla, which would be really pretty. You could use chocolate and buttery. You could use chocolate and blossom. You could use Spirit Rock and blush would be beautiful. I mean, there's so many combinations that you can do this look with that I just think it is just a great type of look for this palette. And sometimes when you don't know what to do with the palette, like for example, my relationship at first with the Naturally Pretty palette, you just have to find a type of look or a type of aesthetic that really kind of goes along with the palette instead of trying to make it be something that it's not. Like, this is not going to be a neutral palette. You're not going to get your everyday neutral looks out of this. I mean, you could, but it'd be a little bit of a stretch, and it wouldn't be using the palette to the full potential. So, you know, just find a look that you really enjoy and utilize the hell out of a palette. I mean, it's just all about trial and error. And I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, talking about makeup with me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.